Hi, so we're back and I wanted to talk to you about the features and functions of your backpack. Now, all of them are different. I am going to show you an Osprey because that's what I have, and that tends to be the brand I use most often. At this juncture, I just haven't found one that I like better, and I'm really comfortable with the packs that I have. When I first bought a backpack, not only did I not have it fitted properly, which is a problem, I also had no idea what all the straps and pockets and everything were. And I remember staring at it and thinking, I don't even know what to do with this, and feeling actually really silly, to the point that I didn't want to ask somebody else because I didn't want to feel dumb, and I was having enough problems trying to figure out what the different ratings of hikes were and who I could hike with, and wanting to figure out more about backpacking. And so I had started doing some YouTubing and Googling of different things, but nothing taught me more than actually using it. So I thought that I would give you a little bit of a rundown of some of the standard things you'll find in a pack and some of the features that this particular Osprey, this is the Aura 65 AG, I'm going to show you because that's the one I typically backpack with, and hopefully you can kind of look at your backpacks or other backpacks you see and start to get an idea of what the different straps and things are. Okay, so this is our Aura 65 AG. This is the back of the backpack that you're looking at. Again, this is an Osprey. Some of the things that I'm going to point out really quickly is this top part of this pack can come off. This is considered, you can take it off and use it as a day pack. It usually adds some extra literage. So that's what this is for. The other thing that I want you to know while we're doing this large opening is all one big pocket. It goes from end to end on this pack. It's all one big opening. There is this bottom part, this bottom zipper that you'll see. Let me remove these here. What this is a way to get into the bottom part of that big pocket. So it is still the same pocket. A lot of them have a divider in here. This one does, to keep things separated. This is a really good place for me when I go backpacking. This is where I put my sleeping bag. So my tent I tend to keep on the outside or at the top, depending on which tent I'm using. So I'll pull that out, put it up together, and the next thing I'll do is pull the sleeping bag out of the bottom. That keeps me from having to take everything out of the pack to set up. So that's why they do that. It's a convenient way to get into the bottom of your pack and not have to go all the way through the top when you are setting up. You'll see that there's these straps here. There's two of them, and they of course expand and contract. They are removable if you don't use them. I actually leave mine on here, but I don't use them very often. These are often where you'll see a bedroll or sometimes a tent or tent poles on the back. I don't put mine there because I don't like the way it pulls the weight down and back on my pack. It just doesn't feel good to me. There's usually a mesh pocket like this in the front. This is where I keep things you want to be able to get a hold of really quickly. For me, that's food. So typically snacks. I don't want to go long without my snacks. It's also a good place when you're hiking, like in the fall or in the winter, and you have to take some layers off, to hand a hiking partner your gloves or larger jacket and say, just shove it down in that pocket. These little doohickeys, these are holders for all kinds of things. So you can put tent poles through here. You could put, there's actually a place on here for your hiking poles, but you can put all kinds of things through here. You can hang something off of it if you wanted to. And then you just use these two to cinch it down and pull it down. So there's plenty of room to put that. There's one on each side. You have, each of the zippers have these easy pulls, so even if you have mittens on them. So that's this one. This pocket also opens from here, so you can shove more stuff in it if you need to, or overstuff it, which honestly I tend to overstuff this. I tend to keep all my food in this pack instead of in my actual pack, and then pull it all out in one big bear bag because I'm lazy that way. This particular pack has these two pockets on the side. Now Osprey, these are individual pockets, so this does not go into the big pocket. This is an individual separate pocket that goes across the front. And a lot of brands, they have these zippers, but they still go into the main big pocket. So if you like to have things more separated, that's something to think about when you're looking at a pocket. Some people, or at a bag. Some people really like to have just everything in one pocket. I just like to have things organized a certain way, and the pockets of the Ospreys have gotten me very, I know where I like my stuff, and that's where I put it, and it just makes me happy. I'm a little OCD about how I pack my stuff in my pack now. There's this large opening here, and then you have the cover for this and the hooks for this cover. This cover is if you're not using the day pack, you can use this one. If you are using the day pack, you kind of fold it down in to add an extra layer of protection in case it's raining or to keep things in. Almost every pack is going to have a hydration sleeve. In this one, it's internal, which means it's inside the large pocket. It's here. You put your camel pack in here, and then they have these kind of small hooks that you hook on to hold it, so as you drink it doesn't slide down into the pack. So this one is internal, and then there is a hole under here that goes out the back of the pack through the neoprene, comes out this back part so that you can pull the tube through and then down the shoulder straps, so you have the tube accessible. Almost all of them use this little H2O. Look for that little symbol. That's where your hydration pack hole is. Some of them are external. The other Osprey I have, the hydration pack is external to the bag versus internal. We can talk more about that when we talk about packaging or packing and how you pack that item. This particular pack did come with a rain fly. They don't all come with rain flies, which I know is crazy. If you've ever read A Walk in the Woods by Bill Bryson, there's an entire section on him buying a pack and not understanding why there is or is not a rain pack. This little emblem right here just means the rain pack is in this pocket. It hooks to this. I've moved the rain cover on this one to a different pocket that's more convenient for me, so that's why it's not in there, but that is where it's kept. Normally I have some that they're kept in the front toward the top. This red strap you see sticking out here, that hooks to this one. That is when you completely fill up the pack and you're ready to start strapping things down. You pull this across and pull it in. We'll talk more about that. So the other big features, besides these little things that I, for the life of me, could not figure out for a long time what they were for, there were 800 different straps besides these ones that held things. If you look across the outside of this pack, I've got a strap here that hooks to the top. I've got a strap here that comes across, and I have a strap here. And I was like, there are straps everywhere. And I think when I got the pack, they weren't hooked, which I was like, where do these all go? The point of all of these straps, and I'll show you more when we actually pack a pack, is to make sure that you can cinch everything down into one solid piece. So when it's completely packed, you would pull this on this side and tighten it down, even it up on the other side, tighten it down. You would tighten all these down until you had one big solid pack. So everything inside of it is not rolling around or jumbling around. And of course there's weight distribution and other issues to deal with. The other things on this pack that, for one, Osprey packs and several other brands, this little piece right here on the chest strap, that is a whistle. You don't ever want to go out without a whistle of some sort. So this one comes with a whistle in it. I actually owned this pack for a long time before I realized that was there. This magnetic piece is also, it came with a hydration pack that has a metal piece. So my mouthpiece just sticks there, which is really convenient, but I wouldn't call it super necessary. You can get along just fine without them. And then each of these straps, this particular waist belt, has pockets in it. This is an adjustable waist belt. That's what these are. There's Velcro in here, and these little arrows are so you know which one you're on. I can expand this to quite a bit larger. I don't need it larger at this time, but it's nice to know if I need to. This is my only complaint with this Osprey bag. I love these pockets. They're nice and big, and I put snacks in them. And I love snacks, and I love to be able to get to my snacks on the fly. However, because of the way this is shaped, when it is on you, and you can see even now, even if I add pressure to it, when it's on you, it is actually really difficult to pull the zipper in the right angle to get it closed, which is my only complaint on this pack. This back piece, completely vented. I think we talked about that. for airflow, which is nice. And of course this can move up and down as well. Okay, so that is the basics of this particular pack. This does have a feature for what's called stow and go hiking poles, where I'm going to try and explain this, but without seeing it on, you're not going to be able to tell really well. This piece, and then there is another piece on the bottom of this pack where your hiking poles fit in and can strap to you. And I'll show you that when we get into actual packing, but those are two pieces I didn't quite mention. At the end of the day, don't ever feel ridiculous about not knowing what a hook is for or what one of the different straps is for. There's a lot of straps on backpacks, and backpacks are all very different, and the brands can be very different. So don't feel weird about Google searching your backpack to ask what it is, or asking at REI, or asking somebody on a hike or in a meetup group, or send me a comment. At the end of the day, don't be intimidated by all the straps and doohickeys and weird stuff on your pack. It does all have a purpose. In time, you'll figure out what works best for you. At the end of the day, remember 95% of the straps that you have are going to be to take everything that's in it and put it into a solid mass. I mean, it's really just to kind of compress everything down to one solid mass. That does not mean, though, that you're going to tighten them to the point that you're ripping everything out of there. You should not be overstuffing so much that things are going to pop seams, and that's very rare, but I have seen people overstuff to the point that you just need to go up a size in a bag. So that's what those straps are for. Anyway, if you have any questions about anything, again, I prefer my Osprey packs because I've gotten used to their pocket layout, and I really like them. I don't like the one big giant pocket. I like to have the separation of my stuff. So if you have any questions, or if you have any comments, or if you have concerns, feel free to comment below or contact me in any way. We're going to get into other stuff. If there's anything else you want to know about a pack, about gear, or any gear in particular, let me know, and we'll keep sending these out.